Whether on the ground or in the air, cinematography is all about composition. Knowing how to compose your shot will instantly improve your drone video's quality and achieve that cinematic Hollywood look. In this video, we'll discuss what you need to know to take breathtaking cinematic drone footage and offer some technical suggestions to ensure you capture the look you want. Mike here from Videomaker. There are time codes below if you want to know what we're covering or want to jump to any place in the video. For a limited time, we're giving away our industry white paper on how to pass the FAA Part 107 test for drone pilots. If you ever plan on making money with your drone footage, by law you need to get certified, and our report will help you pass the test easily. Sign up at videomaker.com/drone or click on this card. The basic rules of composition cover many aspects. The rule of thirds, framing, aspect ratio, balance, leading lines, and depth of field. All of these are critical for drone pilots looking to capture cinematic drone footage. The key to cinematic drone shots is showing depth and dimension at a slow, smooth pace. Many iconic scenes from Hollywood movies have achieved this using helicopters or cranes. With the right composition and camera movement, you can achieve similar shots with your drone. One of the most popular cinematic aerial shots is the reveal shot. The reveal shot, sometimes referred to as the crane shot, typically starts either zoomed close in on a subject and pulls away to reveal the surrounding environment, or starts pulled far out and ends up pushing in close to reveal a subject. The reveal shot is useful for revealing important characters, objects, or environments. This type of shot is commonly used to reveal a particular building in a vast city or introduce your subject in an existing location. A classic example of this reveal shot can be seen in the 1939 film Gone with the Wind. In the scene, we see protagonist Scarlett O'Hara at the train station. As she steps into the depot, the camera pulls out to reveal many wounded Confederate soldiers scattered across the station. The shot is impactful because the camera work reveals the soldiers in a sudden, shocking way. While drones weren't available in the late 1930s when the scene was shot, drones are more than capable of capturing a similar shot today. Next, we have the fly-through shot. Fly-through shots take the drone through a location or structure and weave it through several intricate maneuvers. They're quite difficult to pull off and make for some spectacular shots when they're achieved. You've likely seen a few of these around the web, as they're a technical feat for pilots and are always awe-inspiring. If you're flying a Skydio 2 Plus, use Keyframe along with its obstacle avoidance to make these shots easier to achieve in less time. Fly-through shots require a lot of planning, choreography, and a skilled pilot. If you're still honing your piloting skills, you can do simpler fly-through shots like flying through larger structures like archways, bridges, and columns. The top-down shot, or bird's eye view, is a classic cinematic staple. This shot places the frame looking straight down at the subject. They're used for various reasons. These reasons include showing a lot of movement, capturing lots of detail in an environment like an interrogation scene, or creating a sense of vastness or emptiness. It can also be used to make an audience feel unease, like a character dangling from a ledge as they look down and the camera shows the city streets below. There are tons of examples in cinema. A classic top-down shot is in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke just found out that Darth Vader's his father and refuses to join the dark side. He lets go of the beam he's holding onto and plummets down to the dark cavern within the Cloud City. While the scene is quite intense, with Luke presumably plummeting to his doom, it's also quite liberating. Luke's resisted Vader's demands to join the dark side and escaped Vader's grasp. Historically, many films didn't include the overhead shots because they were quite expensive. Nowadays, however, they're quite possible thanks to drones. Though the shot isn't difficult to pull off, it's still important you adhere to all drone laws concerning flying over people and buildings. Now, the next few shots are a bit more complex, but we're going to show you the best way to capture them with your drone's built-in AI software. The orbit shot, also known as the arc shot in cinema, is a shot that orbits around a subject, keeping them in the center of the frame the entire time. Typically, this shot travels on a horizontal plane. However, it's possible to use the shot on a vertical plane as well. Orbit shots create a parallaxing effect that really adds dimension and movement to shots that may otherwise be pretty static. For example, the Avengers uses an orbit shot when all the film's heroes finally come together. Preparing for the battle ahead, the orbit shot pans around them all, visually showing them assembled as a team. a key theme of the film. The orbit shot is usually done with a crane. However, drones are more than capable of capturing them. They can be quite challenging to do manually though, especially if the subject's moving. Cinematic footage always needs to be steady and moving on a consistent path. If capturing an orbit shot on a drone manually, the pilot needs to have an incredibly steady hand to keep the drone stable and to keep on the planned flight path to capture the shot. Thankfully, drones like the Skydio 2 Plus feature an AI-assisted mode, which allows the drone to track subjects and orbit around them. This makes an otherwise difficult shot into something that many beginner pilots can achieve on their first flight. Next we have the rocket shot. The rocket shot gets its name by essentially mimicking the motion of a rocket. It starts close to its subject and then shoots up into the sky. The drone always launches vertically while the camera focuses on the subject below. Think of it like a bird's eye view that keeps rising higher and higher. Because of the complexity and precision of these shots, it's helpful to use your drone's AI to achieve optimal smoothness and tracking. Skydio's automated skills can perform complex tracking, navigation, and obstacle avoidance maneuvers while maintaining cinematic composition. If you enable the motion tracking skill, your drone will track a subject from a specified angle relative to the subject's direction of motion, such as from the front, side, or behind. There's also an orbit skill that can orbit a stationary or moving object, making orbit shots so much easier to capture. Additionally, you can use the vortex shot, where the Skydio 2 Plus will fly up and outward while rotating around a location or tracked subject and return. As mentioned before, by using Skydio 2's automated skills, obstacle avoidance, and tools like Skydio Keyframe, you can capture many seemingly impossible shots, all with just a few taps on your controls. Long aerial shots are prone to jerky and abrupt pathing when operated manually. You want your footage to be as smooth as possible to achieve a cinematic look. Automating your flight path with Skydio Keyframe will ensure you capture the smoothest shot possible. With the Skydio 2 Plus, you can set markers where you want your drone's flight path to be and position your camera where you need it to go. The Skydio 2 Plus will fly the path autonomously, providing a smooth cinematic shot. Don't forget to make use of ND filters. ND filters are essentially sunglasses for your camera. They allow you to filter out a certain amount of light without altering the image's color. This allows your drone to capture a wider range of exposure. More technically speaking, ND filters allow you to bring down your exposure so you don't have to turn up your shutter speed. As a rule of thumb, you want to have your shutter speed around double your frame rate. For example, if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, you'll want your shutter speed to at least be 1/50th. Or if you're shooting at 60 frames per second, you'll want your shutter speed to be at least 1/120th. This is to mimic motion in the same way the human eye experiences it in real life, which in turn makes it more cinematic. Neutral density, or ND filters, come in different strengths. The Skydio 2 Plus has a set of 3 compatible ND filters that'll cover you in even the brightest situations. There are countless types of shots you can capture with a drone, and the best way to master these shots is to give them a try yourself. If you made it this far, consider subscribing and liking this video. And don't forget to get our industry white paper on how to pass the FAA Part 107 test for drone pilots. In the next video, we'll cover 10 useful drone features you didn't know existed. Thanks for watching.